What's going on, everybody? It's Tim Ryushima, aka Static Boards. Back at you with another tutorial. I'm gonna go ahead and go over a quick, simple, easy way how to make boards. A lot of people have paid programs, either cracked them, paid for them. They're expensive. A lot of people can't afford that. This game. A lot of people are not trying to dump money into it. So with that being said, I like to go the free route with everything to show everybody that everything is achievable in a free way, always. Um, there is going to be one thing in this series, one in the map making series actually, where we have to get Substance Painter, and yeah, there's just a way to get it for a year, and it's yeah. But we'll talk about that when I get to that. But that's the only thing. Everything else is free. So the program we're going to use is GIMP, which I already have downloaded. If you do not have GIMP downloaded, just go to Google, type in GIMP, and this first one, GIMP, GUN manipulation program, is what you're going to want. GIMP is pretty much the free version of Photoshop. It's really similar, very easy to use. Download it, grab it. Another thing is in the description of this video, I have a folder that's going to be in there. This is it right here. It's called Board Assets. This is a bunch of files. This is essentially the template you need to make the board or grip. This is a used version of a grip tape, a brand new version of a grip tape. So you can choose either or. When I post my boards, even if I'm just posting a deck, I still put a grip tape on it. So when I post this, it looks nice. It doesn't mean the grip tape's applied to their board because you have to actually put the grip tape tag on the same template, so it wouldn't work. So they're only going to get the deck, but visually they see the grip tape when they download the board and they're like, oh, that looks nice, you know. So that's just personal preference. I'll show you how to make grip and deck right now because it's pretty similar. This is bolts, just your 4 bolts. That's all it is. You may or may not need this. It's kind of cool to have this if you want to color these and then put them over the existing ones and stuff like that. You can change the colors of the bolts. That's kind of cool. So for grip tapes. And then I added this wooden deck that I got from the SXL Discord, which is just a blank wooden maple, deck. So there's those 5 things. So those are pretty much what you're going to need. So now you got GIMP, install it, open it. We'll get moving. This isn't too bad. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to show you anything crazy because my creativity is not on point today, but I'm just going to show you a basic thing that I do with static boards a lot and stuff, and it's something a lot of people do, and I mean, obviously, it's based off of, like, Baker and a lot of companies that do similar things with, word boards and stuff, but the easiest way to do this is open up this board asset thing and just drag them all in at one time. Okay. In our case, this is what we're going to be working with. We're going to work on decks right now, and I'm going to show you a few different methods. So, say I wanted to, let me rearrange this. To rearrange these in GIMP, you have to click not this box that pops up and not the X, but you got to click like the bar next to it, and you can drag it. But I like to have my first thing over here. Okay. So let's say you want to do a wood deck. Click your wood. You're going to click this picture up here. You're going to drag it into here, drag it out here, and let go. So there's wood. Now come over here to your layers, and you're going to want to drag the wood layer underneath that layer. And that's going to give you that nice crisp, that. So the other thing I like to do is come over here and pick your grip tape. We'll just do new for now because we're not going to really deal with the grip tape. We're just making a deck. So do the same thing. Bring it over. Drag it into there. And that needs to be... Okay, you want the grip tape underneath. You want it in the middle. Underneath your first layer and above the second layer because it'll cover the tip of the wood that's showing too, which is, make it look really nice. So that's pretty much your layout of your board. Now, something that you're gonna have to get used to is I'm just gonna do it on top, show you. This is your front for your deck, and this is your tail. And then for the grip tape, this is, oh, I can't show you. This is your front, and this is your tail. Okay, so when you do boards, focus on just the board. Don't worry about your grip tape because it's flipped and it will confuse you. So the best thing to do is just worry about your board. I always just remember I'm right-handed, so the right side's the front on the board every time I do this. That's just how I remember it. So for a wood board, obviously here's your wood now. You could get any image of wood you want online, technically, and just resize it to 2048 by whatever and fit it. You know, you could put it, it's just a square as you see. I mean, it's just a square. So if you get a strip of wood off Google and you can replace it right over this, you can put any kind of woods you want, stuff like that. I'm not huge on the wood boards. They're cool, but I'm not too creative with them. Obviously, you can come over here. You have your paintbrush, your paint bucket, which you can change the colors here. This will do squares and circles if you want to make shapes and stuff like that. This is your text. This does blurring, smudging. If you're familiar with any Photoshop, you'll be familiar with a lot of this, or if you've ever used any kind of paint program. But again, you can draw on it. You can do whatever you want. There's also filters up here where you can do some pretty crazy stuff like mosaic. You can mess around with that. There we go. Mess around with this and really get different kind of effects and stuff like that. So that's for the decks you make, the wood boards. Okay, cool. But now say you don't have the wood board. You're like, what do I do? So you have your two layers here. One layer is your board. Your one layer is your grip tape right now. The bolts on this originally come with the board one. So now what you do is come over here, right click this little arrow up here, and go to layers menu and go to new layer. None of this really matters. The name, you can change it to whatever you want. You could say base color. That's a good one to put. You can leave it in the middle is fine. No, actually you want it on the bottom down here. And what you're going to do is move it to the bottom, have it selected, come up here, and you're going to click this rectangle tool. You're going to click right about here, drag out, drag down. So now the bottom you can line up pretty good, like that. It doesn't matter if it goes over the edge of hair, it's all right. Then come back up here, click this square, and just readjust the top. Now you don't have to go right to the edge. You can go over because it's not going to be in the image. But the top and bottom are what matters. And this part is the tricky part because you want to get it right in the center of the grip tape and the board to cut it right in the middle, and it's perfect. And you get it over time. It's just something that comes naturally. And then, I mean, obviously you can sit here and play with it all day, but now once you have it put to how you want it, come up here to your paint bucket, your bucket tool, and change your colors to whatever you want it. um, or and fill it. So say you could fill it with white, fill it with blue, green, purple, whatever, and have that as the base of the board, and then you can paint over it. So the board in Skater XL has natural wood and like grain texture to it. So even if I just put like a blue square and it looks like just the color blue on here, when you put that blue in game, it'll look like blue wood on the board because it transfers it to like that board texture. So don't think like going like that you're just gonna have a gray board. You will, but the gray will still have texture to it like the wood and stuff of a skateboard. So that's pretty cool. You don't have to deal with any of that. But the other thing you could do is click your bucket tool and hold it and go to gradient, and you can change these colors and go like red to let's go to like a yellowish, like a red to yellow, and then click this and do something like this, and then Maybe something like that. Do like a gradient. You can always adjust, how you want it or how you have it, the gradient. But I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, you can do basic little gradient stuff like that. I mean, this is where your creativity is going to really come in and take over. Um, One of the things I like doing is I go online to Google and I'll just type in, like, I'll just go on Google and I'll type in, like, graffiti fonts. And I'll go to, like, the font or 1001 fonts and I'll just download a bunch of these. And it's really easy. Like, I'll show you one real quick. You just hit download. And then once you get the folder open, once you get the folder open right here, you just click them, bring them out, and you want the OTFs or TTF or something. There's a few different ones, but you just right click them. Highlight them all, right click them, and go to install for all users. I already have it, but I'll just reinstall it anyways. But yeah, and that's how you install a font. It's really simple, and then you can delete everything after you install it. But fonts are really easy. You just install them like that. You can make your own fonts if you're really talented. I'm not that talented. Um, Another thing is when you see this white dotted line, that means you have a selection, and this is still selected from when we did the gradient. So you can click either this box or this wand and just click off the edge, like over here, and it'll kill that. So you deselect it. I think Shift D is the hotkey to deselect it, but I don't remember, so don't trust that. But now you can take your A and do a text tool. When you do a text tool, it's going to automatically make a new layer automatically. So you drag out a text area. Unless we're going to make a static board, obviously. Um, oh, my game was lagging for a sec, or my computer was lagging for a sec. All right, bring it up bigger. I actually like the font that's already there. uh, and then another thing with font is you can stretch it further by the letters by doing that. So, like, if I put it there, I can click it again. I think. Yeah, like that. You can get it how you want it, And then that's that pretty much. Now I can take this font though, and I can go up here to filters. You can, do something like a focus blur. You can just mess with the effects and settings. I'm not going to do that though. Another big one is Gaussian blur. I think it's Gaussian, which I kind of like the Gaussian blur. But then I also like, if you go to filter, I like this one, cartoon. Cartoon's pretty cool, but I don't think we can see much because of the blur. Distort, I like another one. Wind, that's another one I like. Looks like it's being torn away. Okay, but now as you see, you have your board complete. Another thing I've grown to really, really like is this. This bar up here is the side of your board. That's the trim all the way around your board. I'm really starting to fall in love with coloring this in because when you have it matching the board, it looks so nice, and you can just see it while you're skating, and it looks great. So to do that, you're just gonna click here, go to layers, and a new layer, and you're gonna call it trim or whatever. And for this trim layer, you're gonna make a box again, just like you did for the board. Just make sure it's big enough. Okay, and now I'm gonna try the gradient again and see how that turns out because I don't think I've ever tried this, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't think I've ever tried to gradient the trim to see if it turns out, but we're gonna find out right now. That's first time for everything in here, you know. Okay, that looks about good. So yeah, that's pretty much how you make a board. Pretty easy. If you want, you just go to file and open any pictures you have of anything. Like if you have a picture that you drew a logo, and do the same thing. You can edit it itself. Go to image, scale, resize it to whatever size you need it, and then just drag it on your board and make it its own layer and just work with it. Take your time, do whatever. But now that you have a board made, I'm gonna show you. Let me make sure I got this loaded up. Yeah, my Steam's loaded up. All right, I'm gonna show you. You go to export. Yeah, let me re-show you that. So when you go up here, you can save it, but it's gonna save it as a GIMP file, ready to be opened in GIMP to work on it again. You want to export it. You're done. So you want to go to export as. Now, there's a ton of tags. If you know anything about gear, you know gear is written a certain way. So for decks, it's always deck underscore, oh, I'm sorry, deck underscore, whatever you want to name it. So in this case, I'm going to call it static underscore. And when you do it like that, it doesn't change anything. The board's still going to be called static space, whatever I named it. But I just put static because it's my brand, obviously. But um, I'm just gonna I'm winging it. Sunrise, sunshine, sunrise, sure. But like you can write whatever you want. You don't have to have this. You could put that together. You don't have to have the word, your brand there. I just like putting my brand and then the board name. And then it has to have .png. So we'll put this on the desktop. Okay. So now your board is on your desktop, done and complete. You'll see it one sec. Okay, no, it's not on the desktop. Now it's on the desktop. But it's done and complete. You can see it's filled out the way I wanted it, I guess. So now the trick is to go into your Skater XL folder, which is in your Documents, Skater XL, Gear, your deck folder. I'm sure everybody knows where your deck folder is. So, um, where's my deck folder? Though, there we go. Let's just put this guy in there. And now we're going to go ahead, load up XL. Don't mind mine. It takes a second. I got a lot of mods and a lot of gear and a lot of maps. Wow, it's actually loading up a lot quicker than usual. It's surprising. Oh, I hope it's not too loud. But we're not going to really be skating anyway, so I don't think it matters. This is what I have to deal with every time bombarded with all this crap because Easy Day won't fucking add the game, add all this mods and stuff into the game. It's annoying. And I guess technically I'm on like a stream setup streaming at this point, so it takes the computer a sec to catch up. Alright, but anyways, let's go check out the board we made, see how it turned out. I'll show you what I'm talking about with the texture on the wood and everything. The gradient came out like a checker pattern. Okay, so gradient the trim doesn't work. You got to do a solid color, I guess. Oh, that looks so bad. But our board came out great, and if you look at the top, I don't think I can show you with a mouse. Dang, if you look at the very top of the board, you can see the wood grain and everything and like the detail in the board. Like that's all there. It would look something like this. There you go. You can see the top of the board right there. All the detail and everything. That's going to come through no matter if you just have a solid color. But it would look something more like this with a solid color. Obviously, it didn't work with the gradient, but with a solid color, it looks more clean like that. So, but yeah, hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit and teaches you a little bit. The only other thing I can show you is if you want to do grip tape. Um, Really simple is just after you design your grip tape. I mean, you could leave all this out of it and just do the grip tape here. You could add the bolts in and make them a layer and put them on top of the grip tape. And then you can pretty much just free for all on the grip tape. And then when you're done, you go to export just like you would with the deck. But now this is what we had for the deck. If you have a grip tape, all you do is change deck to grip tape. Hold on, let me double check that. It might be grip tapes. Let me make sure there's no S. Yeah, grip tape. That's it. Save it, put it in your grip tape folder, and that's the grip tape. So really simple, really easy, free method, able to create kind of whatever you want if you got the creative mind for it. So I hope this video helps just like all the other videos, and I hope you guys have a great day.